A big star is making it known that they won in the Judgment Day, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out what's new for Rhea Ripley, CJ Perry, and more. Starting things off with a big name that just hit the free agency, and that's CJ Perry, formerly known as Lana in WWE. CJ was recently with AEW, and it looked like she was going to have a long time plan there, but during a recent red carpet appearance, CJ Perry confirmed she was fully wrapped up with AEW and was a free agent. She spoke about WWE, calling it one of the greatest franchises. So is CJ now being a free agent and always appearing with her WWE friends at red carpet premieres? It has fans very curious to know if a WWE return is in place for her. One individual that was very vocal about her coming back to WWE was Booker T. He had this to say about the Lana character making a return to WWE television. Quote, "That might be something to reignite Bobby right back into the fold of things. That's going on with WWE. Hurt Business doesn't seem to be working out the way I'm sure they would have liked it for it to work out. But Lana coming back, man, that would be huge get," end quote. A lot of fans have mixed feelings about what Booker T said because they don't know if he was referring to the original Hurt Business or if he's referring to Bobby's current faction with the Pride. Because the original Hurt Business was extremely successful and even helped Bobby Lashley win the WWE title. The Pride, on the other hand, has been struggling a bit as of late and still needing that big moment to take them over the top. But Booker T would love to see a Bobby Lashley and Lana reunion to continue that story. That may be a hot take from Booker since the Bobby Lashley and Lana stuff wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but if they did throw Lana into the fold and it creates more tension amongst the Pride, maybe it would be an interesting direction for Lashley to get distracted with one of his former acquaintances. And the possibilities for CJ Perry's return in WWE doesn't stop there. Let's quickly travel back to the last Raw of 2019. On this edition of Raw, it was Liv Morgan who made her shocking return during Lana's wedding to confess her love for Lana and ruin the whole night for her. It was a very big surprise and story moment at the time, but that angle had zero follow-up to that big moment and never really had anything of substance happen after that moment. But since it was established all those years ago that Liv and Lana were very close at one point in time, why not use that angle to cause more tension for Liv Morgan in current day? Liv is currently madly in love with Dominik Mysterio and is making it her full focus to win him over in any way possible. So what happens if Lana makes her big return to WWE? Almost in the same fashion that Liv Morgan returned in during that 2019 wedding segment. What if Lana comes back into the picture and starts trying to win Liv Morgan over again and ruin what Liv has going for her? Perfect payback to what happened in 2019. Giving Liv Morgan two love interests on WWE television could get messy, but it could also end up leading towards some very interesting situations. And it'll be a way to redeem themselves for not really carrying through with the original Liv and Lana story back from 2019-2020. So if CJ Perry does make her return to WWE in the future, there does seem to be an endless amount of possibilities and stories for her to take part in. A new report recently came out on Rhea Ripley's status. Rhea has been back on WWE television for a few weeks now, but reports are claiming that she still isn't technically cleared to compete or take part in any physical activity. If these reports are true, then that explains why Rhea and Liv were kept apart, and Rhea didn't do anything physical at all during her first few weeks back. Her first few weeks back consisted of her chasing Liv Morgan away through the crowd on multiple occasions, mostly due to this fact right here, that she's not cleared quite yet. But WWE has already confirmed that Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan is taking place at SummerSlam on August 3rd. Reports claim that Rhea was brought back early before being cleared, and that this match was confirmed because there's a very strong belief that Rhea will be fully cleared in time for SummerSlam. So the rumor of Rhea not being cleared could affect the next few weeks, a build-up for Rhea versus Liv. We'll probably see lots of mind games back and forth between Rhea and Liv, especially with the both of them using Dominik to mess with each other. But as far as anything physical and putting their hands on each other, maybe we won't see that at all until the last few days before SummerSlam, or SummerSlam itself. But considering that they did go ahead and make that match official weeks in advance, Rhea should absolutely be ready in time for SummerSlam. And even without anything physically happening between Rhea and Liv over the next few weeks, there's still so many ways to advance this story between the two of them. Just look at what they've done over the last 3 months. This story between Rhea and Liv was advancing the entire time, even when Rhea was out on injury due to all the events that were happening between Liv and Dominik. So if they keep the Liv and Dominik antics going, all while Rhea is actually there to see them in person this time around, that just might be enough to really heat up this SummerSlam match. Also, can't forget the other Judgment Day members. We've been discussing how, when push comes to shove, the rest of the Judgment Day, outside of Damian Priest, may be against Rhea and on Liv's side. So still, so much to watch out there for in this story. And speaking of the Judgment Day, one massive wrestling star made it known that he has interest in the group, and that's Matt Hardy. Matt had this to say during a recent edition of his podcast, quote, "Never say never, who knows? The broken Matt Hardy character is actually kind of evolving. Some people have noticed how I kind of go in and out of the voice of broken Matt, or the voice of the more authentic Matt Hardy. So it's changing some. It is definitely evolving. I think it's time to do this evolution. So yeah, who knows? The Judgment Day, they've got a cool gig going. So yeah, that'd be something that would be fun." End quote. The Judgment Day hasn't been the only WWE faction Matt Hardy has thought about joining. Matt Hardy was also very vocal about having interest in joining the Wyatt Six as well. He thought he would be a great fit for the group, given his character and his long history with Bray Wyatt, from when they were tagging with each other. Matt also had a viral remark a few weeks back where he said that he just has a feeling that the Hardys are destined to have the final run of their careers in WWE, and then get inducted into the Hall of Fame right after that run. The Hardys did have an epic run to WWE in 2017, but things flamed out in the years after that. But having another epic return and epic run will absolutely be something that the fans would love to see. The Hardys currently have a working relationship with TNA, which does keep the hope alive for a WWE appearance, since TNA and WWE have that ongoing collaboration. So technically, the Hardys being on WWE television is a strong possibility. We'll just have to see if they pull the trigger on it. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.